All right, everyone. It appears that the one-day reaction to Janet Yellen saying that interest rates are going to be hiked in about 6 months was digested very well today. And in fact, yesterday kind of sucked a little bit just because all the certain trades just did terrible. Certain longs didn't get filled, and then other longs didn't work, and then hedges, worked after right after taking them off. But whatever, it's what happens. Today, though, the market was up 0.27%. Still, overall, we're still having basically inside days of the session where we opened strong and closed weak, being down 1.46% on the 13th. Overall, we are consolidating nicely. As you can see, volume was well below average again today and lower than the day before. While not great on an up day, still, as we move sideways here at the 50-day moving average, if we can continue to do this on lower volume, that to me would be extremely bullish. The last thing you want to see here is us moving sideways on above average volume. That's indicative of churning, not bullish. So far we have a pretty positive setup going on. New York Stock Exchange the same way, trending above the 50-day moving average, also as it moves sideways on below average volume, and you can see that in every index. So far everything is working out well. And as I just see here today, because I just did not notice this until now, the Dow Jones Industrial Average is even producing a pocket pivot point buy signal with today's action. So overall looking pretty healthy. And about the biggest measure of health is obviously always the bank stocks. Transportation stocks and bank stocks. If you want to know the health of an economy, you follow those. The Dow Jones Transportation Average still confirms the Dow Jones Industrial Average, so I don't see how we're seeing any negative divergence that's going to lead to a significant pullback or crash. However, the lack of fall through the day after our strong move on the 18th was a little concerning, but still everything looks good. And today, with the XLF hitting new highs on well above average volume, the KRE, the Regional Banking Index, hitting highs on well above average volume, the KBE hitting highs on well above average volume, JP Morgan hitting highs on well above average volume, USB hitting new highs on above average volume, Bank of America breaking out to new highs on well above average volume. Kind of kicking myself for not buying this on the March the 4th, since then it's up 7%. But as you can see, everything looks good. Goldman Sachs producing a pocket pivot point buy signal off the 50-day moving average. Wells Fargo breaking out to a new high. And the Federal Reserve ran a stress test on 30 banks today. Only one bank out of the 30 failed, which shows that they are overall extremely healthy. The only bank that failed was Zions Bank Corporation, and as you can see, it followed through on its breakout yesterday on even higher volume and produced another pocket pivot point buy signal. When you see this kind of action in the bank stocks, I think it's pretty clear that the market wants to move higher. We didn't look at Morgan Stanley, but as you can see, Morgan Stanley's breaking out of a cup with handle pattern on higher volume and a pocket pivot point buy signal. This is extremely bullish. If the economy wasn't healthy, bank stocks would be trending lower. They tried to start to move lower. It looked like Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, and the whole group was trying to roll over. This breakout to new high tells me that the market wants to move higher. The consolidation sideways on lower volume is good. However, I don't know why I'm getting so many sell signals. VIPS is a 25% sell today, closing below the 20-day moving average. YY, another high class stock, is 25% sell signal, closing below the 20-day moving average. And GWPH, our medical or our marijuana story stock, is closing below the 20-day moving average on below average volume. Since it is a marijuana play, not a play on a really high quality company, it is going to be another sell. Don't forget, these sells, all it has to do is get another pocket pivot point buy signal and we're back long even more of the position than we sell. So if we are wrong with our sells, I'm pretty sure we'll get another add signal, especially if the market decides to move sideways. Also on top of that, we got two big partial sell signals. ZU is failing the signal that I got on it 2 days ago, but it's still holding above its ultimate low a day for me, 59, so it's a 75% sell. And SORL is holding below those intraday lows of the day when it pulled back to 453 at one point intraday, and is still holding above its 50-day moving average. So even though it's closing below the low a day of the signal date, it's still above my ultimate cut loss level, so it is to a 75% sell. However, full sells on EVC. EVC is completely rolling over. I don't give a damn if it's on lower volume or not. That is not how this stock should have been acting following a breakout from such a long consolidation pattern. There's no way it should be rolling over back into its base. And CMGE, but Josh, we have a big gain on it. Why are you selling it all now? Because remember what I said. If we close multiple times below the 50-day moving average on heavy volume, and if we have at least a 100% gain, we ride it to the 200-day moving average. This stock with this close still gives us a 32% gain, but as you know, 32 is smaller than 100, so it is a full sell. CMGE we are totally out of. And of course, the reason why I don't buy 20% of any one position anymore, because signals that used to tell me that it's time for this thing to blast off and run, which it did initially, S-Fun, moving up 11% immediately the next day after we went long, how stocks used to act for us, has now completely rolled over and is now giving us a full cut loss signal, proving that we have to be careful. So therefore, despite this great long signal in MZOR today in this robotics medical industry stock, which has amazing technology behind it, it is breaking out above the 50-day moving average from this very long-term flat base pattern. It's an absolute beautiful breakout. However, volume isn't huge, BOP isn't huge, so it's not perfect. It wouldn't be a 20%er back in the day. However, it would be a 10%er, and since I got bank stocks breaking out everywhere, it's going to be a 5%er. So MZOR, 5% of the account capital in both accounts is going into this one. I also got nice signals today in SKBI, which is a drug manufacturer stock, a biopharmacy company, SkyStar Biopharmacy Company, as the name suggests, under some huge accumulation, as you can see on the weekly chart, breaking out to a new high on a back-to-back pocket pivot point signal. We'll see if this one works. If not, you know where we cut our losses below the low a day. And if you're really, really brave, you can go ahead and use, I think the 571 level looks good for me. And then the other long signal is in an automotive parts company, Dorman Products. A lot of these stocks are doing really well. Don't know why SORL can't move along with them. But here's another signal in yet another auto part company, pocket pivot point buy signal, as it starts to break out from this, I guess we can call this a short stroke pattern on a weekly chart, or just a continuation pattern of a base on base breakout or ascending base breakout. Like I said, I see about 1,000 different chart patterns whenever something breaks out, so it's hard for me to always label it one or the other. But bottom line is the market looks healthy, and right, you know, with those bank stocks, I wouldn't fight that trend. So I'm going to go ahead and keep on holding on to those SQQ and SRTY hedges. I should have about 5% in both of these account capital, so 10% in these positions. Since they're 3 times levered, I'm about 30% short, about, I don't know, 85% long, and then 15% cash since it's leveraged in the IRA. And that's the model that I follow, because even though I've been doing this forever, getting my head around my stocks and margin is still a little bit beyond me whenever I go for total percentages of account. Anyway, so that's it. We'll see you on Friday. Aloha.